let's go ahead and open up Xcode, and let's create a new Xcode project. In the iOS tab, choose the App option, click Next, and we'll just call this App Search. And I'm not going to use any core data or include tests. This is just going to be a simple app, and we'll click Next again, save this in our workspace. And now we have our basic iOS app. Okay, so you should have something similar to this, and just to point out, we will be using the Swift UI. And just to reiterate, I am going to assume that you have a little bit of experience with iOS development, but I will try to mention anything relevant just in case you're brand new. So right now we're in the content view file, and this is the file that provides the UI interface for the iOS app. So I'm actually going to hit resume here so that Xcode will show the UI that we're working with. And the basic goal here is we're just going to add a search bar to the top, and we will populate the results below. So let's go ahead and code up the basic structure real quick. First, we'll start out with a vertical stack, and inside of that, we will add a horizontal stack. And inside here, we will add a text field. The default text inside will be search, and we're going to want to capture the text that's typed in here. And to do that, we'll use a variable called search text. We'll actually need to define that up here as a state variable. Okay, so we can see that our search bar has appeared there. Let's also add an image with a magnifying glass, and we're going to use the system icons here. And the last thing that we'll do is add a button to clear the search field. And the button will be an image, again from the system images, which will be xmark.circle.fill. So you can see if they click this button, it'll clear the search field text. And we can make this just a little bit fancier by making it only appear when there's search text in that field. So when the search text is empty, the opacity will be 0. Otherwise, set the opacity to 1. So you can see it's still there, but the opacity is set to 0. And if I were to run this live and type something in here, you can see that this now appears. And if we hit that, it disappears and clears the search field, which is exactly what we want. Now let's build out the UI element that's going to display the search results. And for that, we're going to use another horizontal stack. And inside, we will first display an image. And for now, I'm just going to put a placeholder image, which we'll just use the Xmark circle fill again. And then to the right of the image, we will add a vertical stack, which will contain text for the title. So we'll put title, and then text for the description. And for the image, let's make sure that it's always a square with height 100 pixels and width 100 pixels. I guess width has to go first. Now to get this to be left justified, let's add alignment top leading. And that did absolutely nothing. So we can see that everything here is center justified. And in order to get it to go to the left, we're actually going to come to the vertical stack up here and pass in an alignment for all of the contents. So we'll do dot leading, and you can see that everything now becomes left justified, which is how we want it. Now this little element for displaying the results, the search results, is a single element. And obviously we want to display as many as we need. So for that, what we're going to do is we're going to come back up here and create a new variable, state variable, called results, which for now we will cast as an array of strings. We'll come back and change this later. And then down here, we will wrap this element in a list of type results. And we'll put result in, and we'll pop that out, close the brackets here. Now, in order to do this, it's saying that we need to use a type that conforms to identifiable. And essentially what identifiable means is that each element has a unique ID. So in order to do that, we're going to need to create our own data type, our own struct, and we'll come over here and we'll add a new file. It'll be a Swift file, and we're just going to name this data.swift. So inside this data file is where we're going to put the logic for sending a request to app search and getting that data back.